So welcome to another Level Up Does. Today we'll be talking about Assassinorum Execution Force by Games Workshop. This is a commission I just finished for my client and I decided to talk about it today. And mostly I'll be talking about the theme behind my set. I always need to paint with a theme and my ideas behind the whole set. Now the first thing I'd like to talk about is the assassins. Now I got all the pictures, much better pictures on my Flickr page. I'll put a link below. But my idea and theme behind these Imperial Assassins is pretty easy. It all came from the rulebook, really. They're the side panels you see in the rulebook for Execution Force. They're these side panels which are all black and white, basically, and they show the assassins each panel. And I really like the idea. Like, you know, use a very simple idea of all the assassins have a black and white motif, and it was matte. Matte meaning that their skin suits and everything are not shiny. If you look at the box for Assassinorum and the paint scheme they give on the, you know, the books of the miniatures, most of it is like in the painted miniatures from Games Workshop. Their skin suits looks very shiny, very glossy, and I didn't like that because it didn't make sense. In my theme, the assassin is supposed to be hiding, and if they wear glossy skin suit, if someone was shining a light on them, they're hiding in a corner, it will reflect the light and then make them easily spottable. So, no way for me. So mine painted was, like I said, with that motif of black and white and matte. So as you can see, I'm shining a light here from the bottom here, alright, and you can see the light shining, but it doesn't reflect the light, you know, which is to me really cool, because actually if you really take these miniatures I painted here and put them in a dark corner, you can't see them, right? So I'm really proud that they really are assassin miniatures, minus of course the green sword and all. And the reason why I, as you can see from these miniatures here, there are some brass parts and everything, is because just to break up the color of the miniature. And the brown pouches, I feel it's a neutral color, so that's fine. But again, most importantly to me, these assassins make sense. You know, I mean, in as much sensible as Games Workshop's world is. On top of that, the bases and everything, you know, if you look at all of this here, alright, now I don't think you can see it here, but I basically gave everything a wash in a way. It's a technique whereby you just use brown wash and black wash basically, and you just use it in little amounts to just simulate rain running down from crevices. So when you, example, when you got this crack here, you can see that the rain will come down here and slide down there. And over here you see that there's some more shiny parts of the brass because the rain will wash to certain corners. And you know, that's just little touches. Like I said, the client gave me total creative freedom, and so when I have total creative freedom, I add these little touches, you know, because when someone like that, he knows what he's getting into. Whereas if a guy came to me and he said I want exactly this, then I wouldn't try anything new. So it's really nice. This was a very fun project. I think this is my favorite project I've done yet. You know, like you can see even on the Calidus assassin, this one right here, her base, each of the bullet holes have separate markings for dirt and rainwater rushing down and everything like that. Again, pictures in my Flickr page. And I really like the whole black and white motif, especially for her, where her hair on the top is white. You know, to me, really a simple motif of two colors, but it really brings everything together, rather than, you know, if I had 1,000 colors on the miniature, which didn't make sense for assassin who's trying to hide. Now the first miniature for the Chaos is the Chaos Sorcerer, and it's familiar. Now I wanted to paint a completely new Chaos chapter. I know the book says there was the Crimson Slaughter and it was red armor and everything like that, but to me red always signified Khorne in the 40k world, which is the god of basically war and death, and he hated Tzeentch, which is concentrated on magic. And the whole theme, if you want to know, behind the Assassinorum is that the Chaos Sorcerer is opening a portal through chaos magic. And so to me, painting the red just didn't fit. And on top of that, you know, I already decided that I didn't want to paint Crimson Slaughter, and the client gave me creative control, and so I had, to be honest, a lot of blue, because I recently painted a lot of red stuff for my personal stuff. So I decided to just use blue as the basis, and for blue, it was always the Thousand Suns, which was the Tzeentch followers, which made sense, because Tzeentch is all about chaos magic. But again, I didn't want to paint Thousand Suns, so they won't paint in the existing chapter, so I made up my own. I call it the Azure Silence. Alright, in these To me, they're Chaos Chapter of that worships Zinj, the Chaos god of change and magic. But to them, everything is very Spartan-like. So everything of their chapter is just for learning. So similar to Thousand Suns. So they have the same idea, but they differ in that they are not about anything ostentatious and everything. I know looking at the Chaos Sorcerer is a lot of bits and pieces, but you see later on with the Chaos Marines and everything what I mean. So with him, the main colors for the Azure Silence is the blue armor, with everything else basically being the bolt gun steel color, as you can see. Alright, everything is really just... So the main color, as you can see, is steel and blue. Now, of course, there's added stuff such as the cape being red and the yellow. And to me, you see later on, because with their Chaos Cultists, that's how they delineate seniority. Again, I'm coming up with the theme behind it, and I always paint with a theme. Alright, so these are the colors they have, but it's nothing ostentatious. This is the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, so he gets a little bit more stuff. And for this Chaos Sorcerer, I named him because I was watching a lot by the end of this painting project, which took over a month, because I always tell my customers I paint slowly. I was watching a lot of Andre Rieu and his concerts, alright, so, and he manages the Johann Strauss Orchestra, so to me, in commemoration of that, and because it is just silence, deals with chaos magic. Chaos magic sometimes can't be heard by normal humans, so to me it makes sense, because the Chaos Sorcerer is composing a song of destruction, but no one can hear it but him and the Chaos Gods. So to me the Azure Silence makes sense, and to me I call him the Chaos Sorcerer, the Conductor of Chaos, Johann Strauss, and he's the one performing the ritual spell that will destroy the world if the assassins don't stop him. And then you got this little guy here, alright, and to me the Chaos always are in hiding at first, so the familiar to me is he's like, he used hiding before, so that's why to me he's nothing ostentatious what he's wearing, and also the way the model is miniatured. He's just wearing a cowl, alright, and the blade is again fitting with the Azure Silence idea. This is gold and with a purple blade, but again nothing ostentatious, nothing like several kind of different colors and everything. Everything just like I said, like with the Assassins, keep a very simple paint scheme, like mostly two-tone. Like with the Chaos miniatures here, you're going to see later, most of it is always going to be for the Chaos Space Marines, a blue and a bolt gun steel. So let's get into the Chaos Space Marines. So with these the Azure Silence Chaos Space Marines, as you can see, again, very simple idea, just two-tone, and everything else basically like the reds and everything just add a little bit extra flavor, alright, but always keeping with the idea of the chapter. Their chapter, everything is very Spartan. The idea is just for learning, and their whole entire existence is to learn from chaos. So again, that's the idea. Nothing special, like some space marines like the Harlequins from the Elder have several colors and everything. For me, everything was simple, easy, and just looks menacing. Like these space marines, for me, the darker blue hue and everything, it seems like they're sucking up the dark, sucking up the light, and to me that just is what the focus of the Azure Silence Chaos Space Marines. Last one is the Chaos Cultists, and the Chaos Cultists I painted in 3 colors: yellow, red, and green. And to anybody, of course, who knows that it's basically like the traffic light system. And the reason why I did that is because the client was nice, gave me creative control, and having something different to paint is firstly more interesting. I could have easily painted everything the same color, or like going with the motif of 2 colors and everything, but firstly that would have been pretty boring and would save me a lot more time though. But like I say, because the customer was nice and non-demanding, I always was willing to try more stuff, and I added a lot more stuff which I didn't need to, which I'll go into now. But first, let's go into the theme. To me, the theme is the squads have a use. Each person in the squad is like a core unit in Napoleon's army. They're self-contained, meaning they have hand-to-hand weapons, as you can see, hand-to-hand weapons, and also long-range weapons, which like this guy here and over here. Alright, And the squads just, like as normal army units, each of the colors basically means they're different squads, and I think it also adds to the gameplay, make it pretty cool. Like you just eliminated the red unit, and you can give each of the groups different names. For me, I gave each of the different type of troops each of the names. For example, these guys I called the heretics. All right, and these guys I called the flagellants, and strangely that's because they have these ball and chains over here, and so they're hand-to-hand combat troops, so flagellants. And these are people I call they're the leaders of the squads, which I call the captains. And these guys I painted, just like I said, this is one thing I didn't have to. I could easily have painted these masks over here completely just a brown and made it easy. Alright, but like I said, when the customer gives me it's good, very, very nice to deal with and everything. I just try new things, and I really put a lot of time into these things. Like you can see, I painted this is like flayed skin. Alright, so you can see, very proud of that. The skin is all bruised up and everything. He's sewn it together. And these guys, these particular individuals, this group, I call the skins, obviously, because of their face mask. And the ones over here, I call the marked ones. And the reason why is because, Games Workshop does really good miniatures, I gotta say. It's because, as you can see, they're marked. You see that tattoo over there by their arm. Okay? And I'm proud of that, because most skin, if you ever burnt yourself and then when your skin burns, it becomes a bit whitish and all that. And so, really proud of that. And so that's why I called them the marked ones. If you saw just now with the Chaos Sorcerer, he had 3 colors, which is a red, yellow, and a green. And so it signified these groups here. You see, it ties in basically all of the chapter and their men and their slaves, chaos cultists and everything together. And that was what I was going for in this whole thing. It's the Azure Silence chapter with the Imperial Assassins, with a sensible kind of tools that they use, which is matte black and black and white motifs. So that's the Assassinorum Execution Force set. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. Till next word.